Everybody. Al, it's an honor. We go way back. Guys, just a little bit about me. I live in Los Angeles. I have worked in television production. I have directed shorts. I'm really prominent in the doc-reality TV world. I've worked on shows like Deadliest Catch, Ice Road Truckers, Axemen. Um, uh, I've Jay Leno's Garage. That the list is prominent. But I think ultimately it's LA. So it's like I love capturing real life stories. So that's where I'm coming from.
Right on.
Interesting. So when we met and I was speaking, one of the things that really led me into the cannabis world was my mom. She, in around the 2015, 2016 time that me and Al met, had just undergone surgery. She was diagnosed with a really rare disease called Arteriovenous Malformation of the Spine. AVM is kind of the abbreviation of it. And it's a very rare disease where your blood vessels can get coiled up, kind of like a rubber band. And at any point in time, one could then bust. And then the next thing you know, you are unable to, let's say, walk. Or if it's on the back of your vertebrae, you would be paralyzed. So my mom has it on her lower back. And at that point in time, and Al, I'm just jumping into it right from the door, just so everyone can know. But I being in the TV world and filming, I also then was stuck with this predicament. My mom's my whole world. So I'm going to try to figure out anything that can be done outside of us. She's had 2 surgeries now, but her mobility and her being able to walk is in question. And how do you solve that for the mother that's been there for you your whole life and loves you unconditionally? There is no limit to what you would do for your mother. So I had started looking into CBD, and I was already in the cannabis space just as a recreational fan. And I started diving more into CBD and the holistic way to heal outside of surgeries and Western medicine. I really wanted to tap into Eastern and more holistic ways to heal that would be permanent, and she wouldn't have to be on painkillers the rest of her life. So CBD. So fast forward to I get really into learning about CBD, and I'm like, you know what? I want to make a show about this. So I really started documenting the process of me finding all these different cannabis companies and really kind of honing into who are the most solid and would be helpful for my mom, and who are, they're great, but, I really want to capture those that are going to take us to past, this where we're at right now, this 3rd dimension, 4th dimension, move into a 5th dimension, holistic, full blown, superhuman powers. So anyway, I came across Movita then at this conference, and we're talking, and I mentioned my mom. He had heard me talk about it as a panelist, but then he also set me aside and he said, Megan, I want to talk to you about your mom. And I'm like, yes. And he's like, this is my company, My Fit Life, and this is what I'm doing. And I want to help your mom. And I want to help you and, those that you love. So right away, just thinking about who Al is as a human being, this gentleman came as a stranger and introduced himself and said, you don't know me, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help your mom. So if anyone had any other questions about Al, for me, is this man has helped me immensely, and that's how he introduced himself. I'm going to come and I'm going to help you. So, I think it's really important to note that My Fit Life is that for you. You help us. You help people.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And I know it's a big intro, but I want to say too that my mom has been now taking your product for 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. God, 6 years now. Al has been so prominent in delivering every time. He's delivering 6 years. I've been on it. My mom's been on it. My cat Hemingway has been on it. And we're doing really good. And I'll fill you in, Al, on the progress of my mom as I give him reports every couple of months. But she's doing great. She's now not just in a wheelchair, in a walker. She's moving around. Pain is virtually gone. And now it's just stiffness. And she's actually moving forward and getting to the point where she can use a cane. It's awesome. So anyway, I'm going to stop. It's life changing. Like I will never not be it's part of my regiment, if that makes sense, to this day. Like you become the superhuman that you are supposed to be.
The one thing about you that's really cool too is like you've worked behind the scenes. When you were working with the documentary, doing the
Yeah.
interviewing the cannabis companies, and
Yes.
also with the Cannabis Financial Network,
Yeah.
you interviewed like hundreds of, right,
So many.
uh,
So many.
yeah, yeah,
So when I had mentioned about, filming all my experiences and interviews, so I was blessed with being able to work with Cannabis Financial Network, also Hasty Storytelling, who did all the filming and worked with me on all the interviews. We're talking thousands of cannabis companies, thousands of CEOs that either I was flown to meet or that came to meet me, because it was getting so big that I was now people were aware of what I was doing and wanted to be a part of it. And the Cannabis Financial Network set up a platform to allow for me to then bring either everyone to me or me to everyone. So we're talking thousands and thousands of hours of content. So when um, when I talk about having that select, like limited group of cannabis companies that, after all the interviews, can then hold and narrow down and go, this is who I would want to take and have in my body for the rest of my existence as a human. These are the companies. And for My Fit Life, Al, uh, nonstop. Like even to be honest, Al, like you have been your company, your product has. I mean, I would have to. I mean, without like being cliche that I'm in an interview with you, but it really is my number one out of everything else from that. Like it will, I will take it for the rest of my life. My family and children will take it. Like I will make sure that it is a prominent thing. And it's also why, I don't really like to do a lot of interviews. So for me to do this with you, it's the least I can do. And I will always be supportive of your work. And I will always make sure that with all the filming and everything that I do, that you will be carried along with me in my work. Just, yeah, I mean, between me and my mom and just I'm very thankful for you.
yeah,
Ultimately, you could not ever and would never sell out and give away this beautiful company because you are patient zero. Basically, like if it doesn't go correctly, then you can't see in a week. That's what we're
yeah,
talking about. The
yeah.
potency of this is so on point, people, that it's good because the creator of it takes it so that he can see. How do you
Yeah,
get how do you get more like it's it's powerful. It's very powerful.
yeah.
Correct.
It's
And you
it's
oversee all of it.
yeah.
You're friends with the farmers. Like you really go out of your above and beyond to make sure that your product is next level.
Tell us a little bit about Hemingway.
Well, absolutely. But let me backtrack just real quick. I mean, considering you have the glaucoma, then think about my mom and her arteriovenous malformation of the spine. Like that's completely different thing, but it goes in and allows for the body to repair itself so that you're healing and you're not just masking the pain. You're actually healing. I don't know how to explain that any better, but anyway, so Hemingway, so my my cat, yeah, he is actually sleeping right over there. Um, he's my everything. Hemingway was a rescue. He lost his twin brother, and I've had him now for going on 11 years. Gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so you wouldn't be able to tell. But him kind of growing up scrawny after taking the furry blend, and I might pull him over here if I can. He's cozy, but he's basically a small tiger. he's, he just the health in him. He's strong. His fur is perfect. He's strong, and it's like he's healthy. And I tell this with people that whose animals don't necessarily have anything wrong with them. I'm like, I would be giving this to them anyway, just because you love your pet. It's healthy for them. Again, it allows for them to just keep regenerating their cells and grow and be healthy. And Hemingway will be on it just like me and my family. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's great, Al. Thank you.
how it should be for everybody, right? Like if you love yourself, you should be taking this stuff,
Yeah,
because you have an endocannabinoid system that needs to be fed. This is the education part right here. You have an
good.
endocannabinoid system that needs to be fed. It affects every part of your body, from your brain, all your central nervous system,
Right,
your muscles, your bones, your organs,
right,
every single thing. There's receptors all over your body for that, and many of the things that happen to people, and like from malnutrition to anxiety to the discomfort to the hardcore conditions, a lot of times it's just a cannabinoid deficiency.
copy.
when
Yeah,
you when you have the cannabinoids inside of you, then these miraculous things happen. And it's like, people are like, how can it help so many things? It's just that people manifest in different
right,
ways when they're in ill health,
right,
and there's only a certain amount of things that will bring them back to uh, optimal health, you know
correct,
and CBD cannabinoids period are an essential part of that, because you have the endocannabinoid system.
correct,
There's other things, like the MSM and the and eating right, and moving right,
right.
but that's why it's so essential, is because you do have that system inside of you that provides homeostasis, or balance in your body.
Well, and you're a prominent part of that ride, my friend. Just trust me, and I feel like that's why uh, I think you're divinely protected, because you do have a mission that's bigger than just, you know, it's just bigger. How do you explain?
Yeah, so I know you're a busy woman. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I want to thank you so much for doing this interview with me, and being on the Health Freedom Show, sharing your knowledge. And I know that you're like being behind the camera and behind the
Yes,
scenes more so. So,
yes.
so thank you again. Okay, Freedom Fighters, thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Bye, everybody. Thank
Peace.
you. Bye, Al.